Welcome to episode 2 of our podcast.
We still do. I blew the handshake.
It's all right.
I'll get it next time.
Every time. Every time.
I'm always the one that messes up the handshake.
Every time.
I'll be better. I promise.
Y'all seen it firsthand. It wasn't me. I be on mine. You know what I'm saying? I got it.
Okay.
So what are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about quality time.
Quality time.
We're going to talk about what quality time means to us individually, what it means to us as a married couple, how we spend quality time together, and then maybe some commitments that we need to make to one another or some shifts we need to make to try to incorporate quality time a little bit more often. Because I feel like we were doing good for a minute and then
kind of fell off a little bit.
So why don't you start first? What quality time means to you?
It means nothing. Absolute. No, I'm just playing. Quality time to me is, it's really important in a relationship because it's really where you get to know each other more and you get to open yourself up more to that person, because we've been together, almost 13 years, and without quality time, there's still things that we wouldn't know about each other. And people probably watching this are like, how can you not know everything about each other after 13 years, 12 years? But it's possible. And it's just little things that you don't realize over, the span of your marriage. It's like, I never really noticed that, maybe, you don't like it if I, put my finger in your ear, little stuff like that. It just, it could be anything little, anything stupid. But, when you spend that quality time with each other, you kind of open yourself up, and then, you start to share little things like that. And it doesn't have to be a designated place or a designated time. You just need to get alone with your significant other, your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, and you guys need to go somewhere and be alone and just, enjoy each other's company and talk, not just sit there and, Netflix or, watch a movie, actually sit there, talk, no noise, no sounds, talk. Like the only sound that should be coming out should be conversation, actually sitting there talking and listening and talking and listening the whole time. You'd be surprised what that can do for you.
Yeah. Give yourself a little round of applause. You did great, sir. Good answer.
You know what I'm saying? Give me mine.
And I would have to say that I agree, but I think that when we were dating, or even when we were first married, we didn't really get that quality time. We didn't understand really what quality time was, or
True.
what it really meant to spend quality time, because I feel like we would go on dates a lot and stuff like that, but we would always have maybe another couple with us, or something like that, to where it was we were together, it was date night, but we really didn't have, like you said, that undivided attention
right
from one another. We didn't really have that, and
we were sharing our quality time with somebody else.
Yeah, it wasn't really. And sometimes you need that, you need to fellowship with other couples, and sometimes it makes it more fun when there's other people around. But at the same time, I feel like you should be able to spend quality time just you and your spouse. You guys it shouldn't just be you guys and then you're bored because you don't know how to entertain each other,
know what to do with yourself.
You don't know how to talk to each other. But I feel like we were kind of in that phase for a little bit where it was we
was bored.
We weren't
you
bored,
was bored,
but
because I ain't never bored. I'm fun.
You entertain yourself, so
speak for yourself. Don't say we were.
I feel like, no, Deontay, we were in an awkward phase where it was what was that?
That was an evil laugh. No, hold on.
Okay, I have to learn to ignore you and your sound effects. But I feel like we were in a phase where it was like we didn't know how to just be like me and you, or we would always like incorporate the kids, or you know what I mean? Like it takes, I think, time and maturity and like really being intentional about spending time with your spouse, because like I said, you can just get caught up in so much other stuff and everything else that's going on around you, and you kind of lose like the purpose behind your relationship and why you got married, and it becomes all about your kids or your, you know, whatever else is going on in your life, that you can't really like date your spouse. And it's important for you to date your spouse, I think.
So you want to date me again? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Starting today, you letting the people know we're gonna go on another date?
Yeah, we need to.
You paying for it? I'm broke. I'm broke. I'm broke. All right.
Silly today.
Yeah, I'm on
more
one.
than usual.
I'm on one. Y'all get to see me how I really am. This is all the time.
So I guess we would both agree that quality time is when that person has your undivided attention.
Right. Has to be.
Yeah.
And not to say that it's not fun to hang with other couples, because it is, and I think that's healthy too, to hang with other couples, but it can't always be, you know, you guys looking to go out with somebody else because you don't think that just going out with your spouse is going to be fun.
Yeah.
You know, because there's people who, you know, get caught up like that. Like, you want to go out? Yeah, okay, let's see if so-and-so want to go out. But it shouldn't be like that. It should just be, let's go do something. You know, let's take some time out of the day to just sit and talk. And, I mean, as you guys see our setup here, this is our quality time area that you put together. I'll give you your credit.
Yeah, thank you.
Hold on, let me give you your credit. Let me give you yours. You put this together, but this is our quality time area. This is where we sit, and this is where we talk. This is where we read. This is where we do anything. If we want to go over
our budget,
our life stuff, our goals for the year, for the month, what we want to see happen, this is where we do it. So we are bringing you guys into
we're sharing our area with you.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to do that. You know what I'm saying? We might have to turn this thing around. Y'all in our space now. Congratulations on infiltrating our space.
But yeah, I feel like just maybe like within the last year or so that we've really gotten better with quality time, and it doesn't always have to be like a date night, or you know what I mean? Like sometimes you'll just meet me up at my job and we'll go to lunch. Like that's our quick little quality time for like, you know, 30, 40 minutes, whatever the case may be. Or sometimes, you know, if we can't get anyone to watch the kids in the evening, we'll just go spend a couple hours, you know, on a Saturday day, as opposed to always going, you know, out at night.
My nose is messed up, y'all, so excuse me. Excuse me.
You're excused. So yeah, how do we spend quality time? How do you think that we kind of work that in? I did mention like sometimes you come up to my job and we'll have like a lunch date. How else do we try to like fit in that quality time with one another?
Well, you know, I try to get it whenever I can. If I can get you alone to spend time with you, I'm always down for it. I know there's times where we'll try to, you know, see if we can get somebody to watch the kids, and we may not even have nothing planned or really need to go anywhere, but we just need to get alone. Even if we just go out to eat, we sit and eat, we talk, and then we come back home. But, you know, we get that quality time, and we're not distracted by a movie. We're not distracted by someone else. You know, we sit, we eat, we talk, we get full, we come back home, and then we do the same thing, and then, you know, that's our quality time.
Yeah, I feel like lately our quality time has kind of been like our check-in time. Like, you good? Are you, is there anything we need to talk about? Are you? That's what I feel like lately that it's been. Or if I've been feeling some type of way, then usually like, when it's just me and you and we're like, okay, let's talk
So
about
I'm in
this.
trouble, pretty much.
No, not you're in trouble, but if something's bothering me, that's usually when I'll bring it up. I'll say something like, hey, this has been bothering me, or let's talk about this. So I feel like
you want to push some buttons?
no, I don't want to push any buttons.
Okay, let me push this button.
What?
He said I'm sorry.
Okay. Your buttons are really distracting me. I'm not gonna lie. You're pushing a lot of buttons.
I pushed like 5 buttons.
Okay. You made me forget my train of thought.
All right, keep going.
I can't because I forgot my train of thought.
You look good. Let's talk about that. All right, back on track.
Please
quality time.
Stay on track.
You were talking about how lately it's been our quality time is when we check in, and you saying something's been bothering you.
Yes. So I feel like that's like when I know I have your undivided attention, and I know that you really hear what I'm saying, and you're gonna like take it seriously.
Because I'm in trouble.
Is when no, it's not when you're in trouble, Deontay. Why do you keep saying in trouble? Like, no, it's not when you're in trouble. It's just if I need to talk to you about something specific. I'm big on communication, so
yes,
it's
huge on communication.
But I feel like it's helped.
It does help
a lot in our marriage, being able to communicate freely because, right?
I sucked at it. I was horrible with communicating. Horrible. Like probably the worst that I can think of with communicating. Like and at the beginning it was like, why do I need to call you for this? Or why do I need to tell you that? Like, but now, it's totally different.
I feel like that's a whole nother.
Yeah, that's a whole. Yeah, I mean, we might have to put that in there.
That's a whole other topic. We need to put that in the fishbowl.
Mark that down. Communication is key.
Communication is key, and I'm
very much
huge on communicating effectively. Doesn't mean you have to agree on everything, but
let it be known. You
do need to let it be known, and the other person involved needs to be aware of your feelings.
Yeah.
I feel like that's really important. But how do we spend quality time? I feel like you didn't really say, like, how do we spend quality time? Yes,
like the things that we do?
Yeah, like what do we do?
Oh, shoot, girl.
Okay. What do we do?
You want to give up our secrets? People gonna try to go and do what we do. Can't tell them our secrets, our little hangout spots. They're gonna show up.
We don't have.
Hey, don't pull up to our spots, okay? But this is what we do. Our one thing that we do like to do is bowl. I smash her in bowling. She probably at all the years beat me one time,
and I'll never forget
it. And she'll never forget it. And she hangs on that one time I was off that day. It'll never happen again.
Yeah.
But
so we like to bowl.
We like to bowl. We like comedy. So there's been a few times where we went to the little comedy shows and hung out. We went. Where else did we go? Movies.
We usually go eat.
We usually go and eat.
Food has to be involved.
Yeah, whatever we do, we eat first. Doesn't matter what it is. If it's a movie,
food has to be
whatever
involved.
It is, we do go and eat.
Yeah. Sometimes we just go eat.
Yeah.
I mean,
majority of the time we just go eat.
Yeah,
we'll just go and eat, and then sometimes it'll be either a situation where either it took us so long to get there, or it took us so long to get our food that by the time we eat, we don't even want to do nothing else after that. Like we might have had dinner and a movie planned. And by the time we eat. Like,
we'll come back home.
Look at what time it is. We like the movie started at, and it's we could just go home.
Yeah.
We full half the time.
And I
we don't
feel
even
like
eat it all.
it's because we've learned how to like enjoy each other's company.
Yeah, we ain't scarfing it down so we can try to get to the movie.
It was like, yeah, we would like hurry up and eat. Okay, then let's try to rush off to the movie because that's our entertainment.
Yeah,
like we've learned to entertain each other and really hold like conversation. Real conversation, not with our cell phones out and like all that. Like,
oh yeah, that's when we go out, that's our rule. No cell phones. Cell phones are face down.
Have something with the kids.
Yeah,
but
we got to check on the kids or they're calling us. That's it. But none of that social media.
No cell phones.
We're not texting nobody. We may take a picture or two,
right?
Just to have, but after that, that's it.
Yeah.
But we actually do, and you saying that just made me think like, for somebody on the outside looking in, like if and we do get it all the time where people will say, oh, you guys are such a cute couple, but those people looking at us are probably looking at us like they're either newlyweds or they're dating. That's probably what they're thinking. They don't even realize. I don't think they realize that we've been married over 10 years, because we're sitting there and we're staring at each other, we're smiling and lovey-dovey and really holding a conversation.
When like we're really getting to know each other.
Yeah, like it's a first date, and it's not.
Yeah.
Like, we're 3 kids into this thing, and we're still sitting at a table holding a conversation and talking. We're not sitting there like this, where our food is coming, waiting on our food, and we're just, doing this. And I feel like older couples who see us probably are looking like, that's a young couple who maybe they just started. Or they really just love each other that much. Because, you don't see... I don't really see it. Because, I observe people. Yeah. And I don't see too many couples sitting there talking when they're out, at dinner. There's going to be a little bit of conversation, of course. You're going to talk, but to really sit there and conversate. And
I feel like we
find something to talk about
more now than we did when we were dating. That's what I feel like. I feel like when we were dating, we really didn't talk as much, not like openly how we talk now. Like, I feel like I can say anything to you.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like, I feel like when we were dating, or even like in our first years in marriage, we didn't speak freely to one another. Like our communication wasn't that good when we were first into it.
Yeah, I already said I sucked at it.
Yeah, you did.
I was horrible.
You did. And I was better, but I still, like, because, like, if I got mad, I would just shut down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't.
And
I would just be like, okay, you don't exist anymore to me.
And it would cause me to get mad, because it's like,
so
I'm the one who did it to make you mad, but now I got an attitude because you got an attitude and you ain't talking to me. So now we both walking around here mad and ain't talking to each other.
Yeah. So I feel like we've definitely come a long way,
especially
to where
from those situations. Yes,
we realize that, okay, you know what, if something's bothering me, we need to like discuss it right away. We need to talk about it, and just doesn't mean we always agree at the end of it, but we're okay talking about it.
And that's a situation where we took that quality time, and I'll never forget it when we sat and we talked about everything that bothered us. And I let me stop stuttering. But I think it's really important for couples, and when I tell people about it, I say that you should do this when you're not mad at each other. Do it when you guys are in a good mood, and sit and talk about everything that bothers you, so that way it's out there. So that way, when you get an attitude and you are in your feelings, you can't use this against me, because like I done already told you that bothers me.
Right.
So you can't use that against me now. Like, so and that comes with spending quality time. You got to take that time aside to sit and talk about things, because you can literally go for a year straight, probably like every 3 months, with getting into an argument about the same thing, or even if it's something different, but something that bothers the significant other, he or she can always use that against you in an argument, whether it be for an example, let's say, say if it's a trust issue, they don't trust you around certain people, and what I'm saying, you guys dealt with it at the time, and now it seems like everything is okay, but later on down the line something happens, and then all of a sudden it's like, so what is it that you be doing when you are doing this or when you're doing that? Like, it makes me wonder, are you doing this or are you doing that? But if you would have solved the situation from the beginning, that wouldn't come up.
Yeah.
If it makes any sense. You get it?
Yeah, yes. I kind
of get it?
I kind of get what you're saying.
Gosh.
But I'm pretty sure that that was for somebody, touched somebody with that.
I hope so.
But yeah, I feel like the more quality time you spend with each other, the more comfortable you get at communicating. I feel like that kind of goes hand in hand, quality time and communication, because you're not going to want to spend quality time if you can't communicate effectively. Like, if it's weird when it's just us,
you're going to feel
then
uncomfortable.
it's like, okay, let's go do something with somebody else, or you know what I mean? And that's
you're
really,
always want somebody there.
Yeah, it's really not quality time. So quality time doesn't always have to be like a date night, or actually doesn't even have to be you leaving the house all the time. Or I know for you, like when I'd be like, oh, let's do something, or we need to, quality time, you always be like, well, the money situation. And it always doesn't have to like come down to you spending a whole lot of money. You don't have to go on this big extravagant vacation to spend quality time, or you don't have to.
That's because I like to spoil you.
Yeah, you do. You like to go all out, but I think that don't do that.
Sorry, I like to spoil my wife and take her out to nice places.
But what I'm saying is, now that we're not so focused on like doing this big thing or making it like this whole big old day of quality time, we can spend more quality time together, because it doesn't always have to be this big extravagant thing. It could just be us spending a couple hours, or us planning out our podcast, or whatever it is. I feel like that for us has been a lot of quality time, us talking about the podcast and talking about social media, or whatever it is. So and I do feel like this is our area right here. This is our area.
It's not just ours anymore.
This is our quality time. No, this is still our area. We still control what goes on in this area. This is our area. So I feel like we spend a lot of quality time with each other inside of the house. Like, we don't always have to go out and do something, although it is nice to, take your wife out, take your husband out, get, dressed up, get, stuff like that is, it's still nice. I know you like to see me get dressed up.
You be you be on, yeah.
Okay. So,
but what I was gonna say though, real quick, you will be surprised how refreshing and how good it feels just to spend, even if it's an hour or 30 minutes of just quality time, just talking. Like, I can't even explain how it feels to just literally sit there with your husband or your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend. Excuse me. And I'm gonna cut that out. And to literally just sit there and talk, like, open yourself up and actually, talk about things that things that are on your mind, things that are bothering you, things that, need to be said, really, because you can't walk around with stuff inside and then getting mad because the other person don't know.
Right.
But when you spend that quality time,
and you assume that they should know.
Yeah, like you should know me by now.
Me. Yeah.
Like, well, I don't know you if you don't tell me.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? How I'm supposed to find out these things about you if you ain't never told me? Like, I ain't inside of your head.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we've been married for all these years, but you ain't never told me that.
Yeah. We've had that conversation.
Yeah, we've had that conversation. But when you sit there,
know.
I mean, the best way to explain it is like, it kind of feels like a weight lifted off your shoulders when you
Right.
sit there, you have that quality time, and you
Mhm.
talk, and you actually just share everything.
Yeah.
And that's why I say
Yeah.
you got to do it when nobody's
When it,
mad,
in a
because then
good
you can
mood.
say everything out of love. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, when you do X, Y, and Z, you know
Mhm.
that kind of, you know what I'm saying, irritates me a little bit,
Mhm.
but not to the point where I'm mad at you, but it's just a little bit irritating. So that's why sometimes when you
Yeah.
do it, you realize, or I don't know if you notice, but I kind of do this, or I kind of do it with
Mhm.
a little bit of an attitude,
Mhm.
and it's like, oh, okay, well, I'm
Yeah.
glad you told me, or now I
But
know, and
yeah.
I won't do it.
Yeah. No, I know. Yeah.
And then if you do it, then it's like, okay, you just flat out,
Yeah. You knew.
you wanted to get on my
Yeah.
nerves.
You knew. Um, like for example, one time when we were talking, and you were like, "You don't like when I tell you that you need to do something." Like
Ooh.
and I never thought of it like, you know what I mean? But you're like, no, it makes me feel like a little kid when you're
Yeah.
saying, you need to do this. So now, like, even when I'm texting you, and I'll be texting like, you need to, and I'll revert it back, and I'll be like, make sure you do this, or can
Can
you
you?
do this?
Mm-hmm.
You notice that I do that?
Yeah, I
Oh,
noticed
okay.
it.
Yeah, because I'm very like aware of the fact, because I just say it a lot. I'm like, you need to do this, you need to do that. Not like you don't know it. I'm saying it as a reminder to you, but you're taking it as like I'm talking down on you.
Yeah.
So just
And
little stuff like
yeah.
that. And I feel like our communication keeps going back to communication. I feel like this podcast needs to be communication,
huh?
because we
'Cause
keep bringing it back to communication, but I feel like they go hand in hand.
It do.
But I feel like just by us spending that quality time together and having that conversation, our communication has gotten that much better. Just off of that little, don't tell me I need to do something.
Right.
Ask me or remind me to do something.
Yeah.
So
We can subtitle this communication / quality time,
time,
because you
'cause
gotta have in
Yeah.
your quality time, you gotta have communication, and you gotta communicate in order to have quality time. It ain't just gonna happen. It ain't just gonna be like, well, it's Saturday. You know what that means. You gotta communicate. Like, we're gonna spend some quality time this weekend. We're gonna, go sit outside and just, what I'm saying,
Yep,
love on each
go
other.
to the
and
park,
talk.
or
Yeah.
like for us, even like sometimes our
When we
workout
working out.
times, or little stuff like that. Like it's just me and you, and we're laughing together, we're working out together, we're joking together. Like it doesn't always have to be these like really deep and intense conversations either.
Right.
It's just you and your spouse spending time together with each other's undivided attention.
Right.
And that's what it all boils down to, and that's what's important. So do you want to go into our commitments with quality time?
Let's
Like,
get into our commitments.
What are we going to commit to? I feel like I know what you need to commit to.
You know what I need to?
What you should commit to when it comes to quality time, but I'm gonna see what you say.
You know what I should commit to?
I feel like
So you got to answer in your head, and you want to see if I'm gonna match it.
yes.
So what if I get it wrong?
Then that's fine. It's not a right or wrong. I just want to see if we're right here with the quality time thing.
Well, my commitment for quality time would be twice a month,
Okay.
at least twice a month. I would like to do it every weekend,
Yeah.
but things come up and we have to do things on the weekend. So, we can't always do it on the weekends. But if we can plan out at least twice, maybe once at the beginning, once at the month. Once at the end of the month. I think that'd be perfect. Because you're starting out your month with some quality time, and then when you close out your month, you can look at everything in between and things that happen. Say the first weekend of April, we started and we talked, and then whatever happened, good and bad, talk about how we overcame it, how we got through it. Now we're sitting here and we're talking about it again, because it's always important to be able to sit and talk about whatever you went through, because things are going to happen in marriage. We ain't
Yeah.
perfect. We're going to have our disagreements. We're going to have our arguments, but we can actually sit and talk about it, and sometimes laugh about it.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
sometimes you don't like to laugh about it, but I mean, I'll laugh about it. You be trying to be serious all the time, but I'll laugh about it. Like, remember when you, and then you be like, I'm like, well, it was funny to me. Now that I look back on it, like the way you was looking at me, like you was about to hit me, and it was funny. But at the time, it wasn't. But now, yeah, it's funny.
Okay, that's not what I was thinking in my head, but that was good too.
What was you thinking?
Let me say my commitment first, and then I'll say what I thought that you were gonna say. So I think that I would commit to doing like incorporating more fun in our quality time, because I feel like lately our quality time has been more like not serious, but just like, you know, more like in-depth conversations and stuff like that. Yeah, so I feel like we can incorporate like a little bit more like fun into our quality time, even though we always end up laughing and joking when we talk and stuff like that and spend time together. But I'm just being more like intentional about, you know, having a fun day set aside. Right. Every time we do something fun, it's always with the kids.
Yeah, true.
So I feel like we need to get back to like when we would just go and do fun stuff, like just me and you.
Play some one-on-one basketball. Beat you real quick. Kobe versus Jordan. Jordan versus Kobe.
Okay. What I thought you were gonna say though is commit to being better at planning the quality time, because who's always the one that plans it?
Me. That's what I said. That was a good one. Huh? Yeah, I guess
I'm always the one that plans, or like sets this time aside. So that's what I thought you were gonna say, but
yeah,
that's okay.
You do. You'll mention like let's try to do something, and then I go into trying to plan it out.
Yeah, and then I still end up planning it.
No, not all the time.
Not all the time. But sometimes.
Like, I ain't gonna say the percentage, okay?
Say the percentage.
It's probably about 90%.
Okay. But that's okay.
I take my 10% though.
Yeah, take it and be proud of it. Let's work on getting it to 20%.
Jesus took a 10. Jesus said he okay with a 10.
Be quiet.
I'm okay with it. So I take my 10.
Okay. Do you have anything else to add?
I mean, I can't stress how important it is to spend quality time, y'all. And then as you see, we kept coming back around to communication, because communication is key, very, especially in a relationship, period. You know, you're not getting nowhere without communicating. You know, you got to talk about your ups and your downs, talk about your do's and your don'ts, talk about, you know, things that get on your nerves. You know, if she don't know, or if he don't know, they don't know not to do it, right? But so what are we gonna talk about next week? Let's pick our topic from next week. You gonna pick it blindly, or you gonna just?
I'm going to pick it like this and see what my finger lands on.
No, you looked.
I looked.
You was looking right at it.
I was.
Look at me while you doing it, and stop your finger. Looking dead at it. Stop.
Okay, we're going to talk about having the same faith and the same beliefs.
That's
going to be our topic for next week.
The same faith and the same beliefs. Do you have the same faith and the same beliefs as your significant other? So, with that being said, we're going to get into our outro music. We're going to do the shake again. Can you get it right this time?
Okay, let's try it.
Okay, we're going into the outro. We'll see you guys next week for episode 3 of We Still Do. We hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. We hope you guys listening enjoyed it. If you're watching it, subscribe, please. Like it, subscribe it. Let us know what you think. Even let us know if you want to hear something specific. Maybe we can talk about that weeks in advance, you know. So Thank you guys, and we will talk to you guys next week, same time next week.